Yes, welcome to the next level. This is a new series where I'll be talking about my day, a day in the life of Abdul Halim, yeah, aka Ricardo, for those who know me from way back, you know what I mean? Obviously, that's my birth name, Ricardo. I'm just gonna be real and talk about, you know, things that that's happened in my life and whatnot, and things that's currently happening now, like on a day-to-day basis, what I'm seeing. And it could be just different topics we're going to talk about, you know what I'm saying? So um, usually you see other people's podcasts, and there might be 3 people, 4 people, you know what I mean, 2 or 5, but you never see one person. Yeah, so this ain't a podcast. I don't see it as a podcast. I'm not calling it a podcast. This is just a sit down, and the name of this is Next Level. So you're gonna see episode after episode of me, just ranting and talking about different things. So I just want to start off with the highlight of the day, and that's just a few things that I've seen throughout my day. You know what I mean? So I want to start off with I've got to try and remember them. See, really, I wanted to write down, the highlights of my day, on paper. You know what I mean? But right now, it's on my phone, and I can't get to my phone because obviously I'm recording. So I've got to try and remember. I'm gonna start off with the first thing that I remember. First thing that come to mind, and that was a cat that I saw. I know this is random. You're gonna see there's gonna be a lot of randomness, yeah, on Next Levels. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this was so random. So I was on my way to, I can't remember if I was picking up my daughter or dropping her, but I know it was in the morning. I think I was coming to pick her up, right? But it was in the morning or in the afternoon, one of the two, right? So yeah, obviously if I'm picking her up, that will be in the afternoon. Okay, so I'm going to pick up my daughter now. I'm just literally around the corner from the school, like a couple minutes away, yeah. And I just see this cat, this black cat. It's just there, like, kind of like running towards me, kind of thing. Like jogging. I know it sounds mad because it's a cat in it. Not jogging, but just like pacing. It's not really like, it's not ducking out. It's pacing. And then I'm thinking, what's that in its mouth? Like, I swear it's got something in its mouth. Then I'm kind of looking, like there's a lamppost in the way, so I can't really see. And then the cat comes closer, so I'm like, rah! I see a tail come out of its mouth, like, so I'm like, oh my god, this cat has a rat in its mouth, not even a mouse. Weren't a mouse, because this thing was massive. And I know when it's got the long tail, it's a rat. So what I've heard anyway. So I'm like, look at this rat. Oh my god. So I just crossed the road, because my mind is nuts. Sometimes I'll just think way too ahead of its time. So like, I'm like literally thinking what can happen, like the worst that can happen. Obviously the rat's dead. Cat's not gonna do anything mad to me. Like, I know this, but with my mind, I'm thinking this cat is gonna like brush past my leg with the rat, and the rat's gonna touch my leg, or the cat's just gonna drop the rat onto my foot. You know what I'm saying? So I just crossed the road. I said, I'm not having it. Cross the road. I looking back, I'm like, rah, it's just mad. Like, it's the first time I seen it. I ain't seen a cat with a rat in its mouth. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, that was the first thing. What else happened today? And I know that's just so random. You guys are gonna be like, why are you talking about a cat and a rat? Like, you know what I'm saying? But this is just what's happened in my day. Like, it's gonna be minor things that you're probably not interested in. There's gonna be things that you're gonna be like, raw. Like, did that really happen? Did you see that? You know what I mean? Because throughout your, in your life, there's gonna be times where, like, for example, a lot of people will talk about stuff that's happened in the past. Like, there's so many things so many stories and situations I could talk about and be here all night. You know what I'm saying? Some drama and whatnot. But I want to do it day by day, because you never know what can happen tomorrow. You never know what can happen the day after. You never know what can happen next week. So I just want to, you know what I mean? Like, and it's not going to be a thing where I'm going to do this next level, series every day. It's going to be, you know, I'm not going to mention how many days a week I'm going to do this. It could be any time, right? It could be any time. It's going to be spontaneous. I'm just going to let you guys know, okay, I've done this video, boom, bam, bam, bam. It's up now, go and watch it. You know what I'm saying? So obviously on this channel, on this YouTube channel, mainly you see videos that are to do with fitness, because that is my journey. My goal is to be a personal trainer, so I'm literally documenting everything I can now in terms of diet, in terms of fitness, in terms of motivation, you know, because I need that motivation for myself. So to put motivation out there and motivate others is something that I like doing, and personally I can learn off just by it, you know what I mean? It's a reflection of myself. So whatever I put out there, whatever type of motivation or, you know, talk that I give is for me as well. You know what I mean? The talk is for me as well. So with that being said, yeah, this is obviously something different, next levels. You know, it's different to obviously the fitness world and everything else. Like, this is just my life, day to day, like what I've seen. And I'm going to talk about many other things as well, topics that, you know, that you hear on the news and that. But yeah, so the highlight of my day, what else happened? And like I said, it's not always going to be something crazy like, oh, some fight broke out and man got licked down and this. You're not going to hear all this drama all the time. Sometimes it's something minor, but something that just resonates and something that just sticks in my head, because I'm like, raw, that ain't happen. You know, that don't happen on a day to day, like with the cat thing. You know what I mean? It might be something that you guys are not interested in listening to about. You're probably thinking, why did I even mention that? You know what I'm saying? Why do you mention it? But I don't see that on a day to day thing. You know what I mean? So I remember when it happened earlier, I was just like, in my head, I was like, nah, I got to talk about this. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal, but it's something that has to be mentioned. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and there could be lessons learned. Maybe you might see that happen to you. You see a cat there and you're thinking, you know what? I remember what the brother was saying. Let me cross the road because I don't want no rat dropping on my foot. You know what I'm saying? Or the rat to brush past me. You know, them kind of things there. So obviously there's lessons in everything. You know what I mean? It could be some dead story that a man's telling you, but the next day you know what I mean, something similar has happened, and in your mind you're thinking, you know what, I remember what my brother said, so I'm gonna have to you know what I mean, I'm gonna have to sort something out because I remember what you were saying, so let me try and, you know what I'm saying. So lessons learned, that's all I'm saying, lessons learned. So something else that happened today, and I could actually branch off and talk about a topic that is branched around the same kind of, you know, subject, if that makes sense. I'll just get into it so you can understand. So another thing is, forgive me if I forget a lot of things, man, but a few things have happened today, so I'm kind of just trying to remember everything. So anyways, there was, like, I was coming back from the school now. I picked my kids up. This was around 3:30, and so walking down the road now, all I'm hearing is bib, people cussing. I'm like, what's going on? So I'm looking, like, and I see like this woman's just cussing, road rage, innit? She's like effing and blinding, and then you know, she's basically saying it's your fault, like, to the guy, like, why didn't you move your car back? Why didn't you reverse back, or whatever the case may be? Like, making it out to be like it's his fault. Now, I never see from the beginning. I don't know who was right or who was wrong. I don't know. All I know is this woman had a mouth on her. And sometimes you got to think to yourself. You got to deep it. Like, a lot of people have road rage, right? And let's be real. If both of them are at each other's throat, something's going to kick off. But now, with this woman, she was giving it all the talk to the guy. The guy looked, from what I saw, he looked kind of a little vexed, but he just sped off. You know what I'm saying? He just drove off. But it could have got out of hand. Obviously, he's a man, so nothing's really gonna kick off. But let's say, for example, it's two women. They could have been at each other's throats. Or if it was two guys, even worse. You know, it could have been a punch up, could have been a stabbing, shooting. You don't know what can happen these days. Acid thrown at someone. So lessons learned. Again, like, we have to realize that one little thing, all it takes is one little argument. Man could just, you could die. You could be the person who's giving it the large. You don't know, my man's freaking boxer. And he could just punch you up there on the spot and you're giving it the large. Or, and that's not to say, oh, you should just be that type of person that's just worried about every kind of situation. Oh, you know what, I might get punched up by a man, I better not say nothing. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying you never know. Like, sometimes it's best to just be quiet, and when it comes to you, obviously you defend yourself. But a lot of the times we see these days, man want to talk up, or a woman, she's just loud and whatnot. And it just made me think as well, especially with this woman, like, she was like obviously on a hype and like she was giving it the mouth. But sometimes I think to myself, nah, raw, like, was you doing that because you knew my man wasn't going to get out of the car? Because I'm not going to say where he's from, but I do feel like some people, because the woman, I'm not going to say what colour she was, but she was, actually I'll just say it, she was mixed race, right? But she's English, right? Born here, from the way she talks, she's born here. And the guy that was driving, from just by looking at him, I could be wrong, but I don't think he might have even been born here, right? I could be wrong, but you know what I mean? He was like foreign, right? Let's say foreign. I'm not going to say where he's from, but you know what I mean? Sometimes I think to myself, man are just more laid back in it, like foreign people. Sometimes they don't get it. Sometimes it's just like, you know what, like, they're just laid back in it, a lot of them. So it's not a thing. But then I'm thinking now, like, if it was someone else, like, you know what I'm saying? If they clap back now and say the woman was just, say it was a next woman, yeah, giving it all the mouth back to her, she probably would have just sped off and wouldn't say a word. This is what happens sometimes. Sometimes people all talk until you clap back. So I'm glad nothing happened anyway, because although as human beings we love to see drama, we love to just see things kick off and people fight, sometimes it could get messy. So why do we even hope for that to happen? Because more times we might be excited and on our feet, cameras out and everything, but you know, if it's a bloody affair and someone dies or something, you're going to feel guilty. You find out that you know you could have stopped it, but you was laughing, you was recording, you was like, this is crazy, all excited and that. But you just never know. This whole, like, especially this road rage, it happens a lot, you know. You see it all the time. Road rage. But more times it's talk. Man gets back in his car, woman gets back in her car. You know what I'm saying? It's usually like that, and it's better like that, to be fair. You don't really see it kick off or anything like that. Obviously, if you go to YouTube or something and type in man kicks off road rage, you're going to find a few things, you know what I'm saying? You're going to find a few things on YouTube and whatnot. But real life, more times, I've seen so many people argue and they just get back in their car. Sometimes proper loud, you think it's going to kick off. You're like, wow, like looking out the window. There's more times outside my house, there's always drama. So we're looking out, more times people talking or whatever. Back in the car, you know, nothing really happens. But yeah, man, sometimes that's the case. And I don't drive, yeah. Remember I told you I'm gonna be like proper real on this show, yeah. So I don't drive. Lately I've been thinking to myself that I want to drive. But one thing about me, yeah, I've always been into cars in a sense that, not like to understand you know, what cars do, and like I don't have much knowledge about cars, I'll be honest with you, but I love beautiful cars, if that makes sense. Like, I love expensive, nice cars with beautiful interior, with nice wheels. Like, I just, you know what I mean, I love the look of certain cars. The shape has to be banging. Like, that's just me. And so I think I think that's one of the reasons why I haven't got a car, because, or even thought about driving really, because I've always been that person that said, if I was to drive, it would have to be a Range Rover, or Tesla's a recent thing for me, but I'm really into Teslas. But before, it was more like Range Rover. I've been saying this from young, like a Range Rover. That's what I want. I want to get my mum a Range Rover. I want to get myself a Range Rover. Like, I've always thought this from young. Back when I used to, when I thought I was going to be a footballer, or back when I thought I was going to be a musician, a rapper and whatnot, or a songwriter, and obviously none of those things came true. By the grace of Allah, qadar of Allah, I have a family now, a family man. I'm happy in the situation that I am in. I work. I'm grateful for everything. But with that being said, I don't even know where I was going with this. I don't even know how this came about. I just started talking about cars randomly. Oh yeah, obviously the road rage. So back to what I was saying, before I lose track. Obviously, like, I don't drive, so I haven't experienced road rage. I haven't. But I have experienced street rage. You know what I'm saying? So I could imagine it's similar. More times street rage could get even worse, to be fair. But road rage can be a problem. You know what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments below if you've gone through any type of situation where, it's been road rage. Either you're yelling at the person, or they're yelling at you, or you've swung, something's happened, something, you know what I mean? You got into drama. Let me know in the comment box section. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Like I said, there's going to be more episodes on the way. Going to be a few things that we're going to talk about. So anyways, let me backtrack now. What else has happened? Highlight of the day. This is why I should have wrote it down, because I'm actually not going to remember. Let me think. Right. So I can't actually think right now. I know there's something that happened. You know what? Let me rewind back. So today is Thursday, right? Now Thursdays I drop my kids to school and I pick them up from school. So okay, let me just mention this, right? This wasn't actually on the list, but I might as well mention it. My daughter has got she's 8 years old, right? I nearly forgot her age there. So she's 8 years old, and she's been doing so well at school. She's been doing amazing, and she's very smart. I don't know where she gets it from, because I'm not smart here. I'm just being honest. Like, I'm not smart. I would say I'm creative. I would say I'm very sporty. I'm not academic at all. I love reading, so it's a bit strange. A lot of people who are not really smart are not into books, but yeah, I like reading. I'm always observing, but I just feel like my daughter is very different from me, in a sense of, in terms of academic. In terms of other characteristics, she's very much like me. Like, she likes to joke about. She's like a little comedian at home. Anyways, she's very shy. I'm shy. I know it doesn't seem like I'm shy right now, because I'm obviously talking to you guys, and it's just so much easier doing this on camera. Like, I don't know why, but it's just a lot easier than real life. You know what I'm saying? So in real life, yes, I'm very shy. Depends who I'm around. Like, obviously family and whatnot, close friends. It's a bit different, innit? But like, just certain people, you know what I mean? It's a bit different. So I don't know. Sometimes I'm shy, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I remember when I was young, though, I was never shy. Like, I don't remember being shy. I remember just being like very talkative and stuff like that. Just like super confident. I'm confident now. I'm confident with my. I know this sounds a bit like I'm boasting. I'm not. bragging or boasting. I'm just being honest. Like, I'm confident with my appearance. I'm happy with the way I look. I've never thought I want to change this or change that. Um, I'm happy with my looks. I'm happy with myself, if that makes sense. But I would say, like, characteristics wise, in terms of, um, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but there's more the characteristic sides. I would say that I'm more of like, why did I say that kind of thing? You know, when you say something, you're just like, why did I say that? There's a lot of people who don't care what they say. I kind of wish I was more like that. I'm very much like, I shouldn't have said that. Even though there's times I can be outspoken, that's when it's something serious and I feel like, no, something needs to be said. But other than that, just having a conversation with someone and then you say something, you're like, oh, why did I say that? You know what I'm saying? So I'm very much like that. But yeah, I think my daughter's like that as well, because she's very shy at school, which is like, I wasn't like that. So, especially primary school. But yeah, she's like that. She's quite shy, you know what I'm saying? Um, and it's a good thing to be shy, It's actually a good thing because it helps with modesty as well. You know what I'm saying? Just shyness and modesty, they intertwine with each other. So it's very, you know what I mean? It's very, it's a good thing. Very much looked at as a good thing. Trust me. So, yeah, but she's doing well at school. So is my son, actually. Hold on, what I'm saying. I made tea, but I don't know if it's probably, it's a bit hot. Yeah, so as I was saying, yeah, my daughter, she's very so I have two daughters. I'm actually talking about my oldest daughter who's 8 years old. She's very smart. You know what I mean? And I think they're all like that. All my kids are like that. Like, I feel like they got this intelligence within them, the smartness. Um so I don't know. I just feel like it's a blessing, man. I think they might get that from their mum still. You know what I mean? You know what women are like, man. All women have that blonde moment. You know what I'm saying? That all women have that blonde moment where you're just looking at it and you think, why did you do that? Or why did you say that? Like, it's just like common sense. You know what I mean? A lot of women, you just think like there's always. I think maybe it's just every human being. Come to think of it, because a lot of men are like that as well. Say some mad things that you're like, what? Bro, use your common sense, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think a lot of women are like that still. Especially, they say that anyway. They say a lot of smart people have no common sense. You know what I'm saying? And people with the common sense, they're not really. They don't know. They don't understand, like, not deep things. That's not the right word. Because I understand deep things, if that makes sense. Something deep. But intellectually, like academically speaking. So I'm trying to sound all smart, but I'm not smart. But yeah, that's I think, yeah, academically speaking, I feel like um yeah, on the academic side of things, if that makes sense, if there's people out there who are real book smart and real academic, but they have no common sense. You know what I'm saying? At times. And then there's people who are like it's so weird, like for example, kick ups, yeah. For anyone who watches football or plays football, they know what kick ups, right? Is another word for it is juggling or keep it up, right? For me, if a person is a big adult and they're not a woman, I exclude women because not every woman can play football, for sure. But I feel like for men, if you're a man and you can't do 5 kick ups, I feel like it's common sense to do at least 5 kick ups, even if you don't kick ball. You know what I'm saying? But there's men out there who can't even do one. Let's be real. And so everyone has skills in different areas. There's gonna be someone who might be a plumber, right? And then you say, "Raw." He says something in his, in plumbing language that he understands very easy, and then you're like, "Okay, but what about this? And then, but you said something dumb, and he's just like, yeah, you just do this. And he's in his head, he's thinking, that's ABC, that's easy. You know what I'm saying? But for others, it's difficult. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is really. It's like even like putting words together. Like I've always been good at putting words together. Not like conversational. I mean like rhymes, poetry, poetic. Like that's very easy for me. You know what I'm saying? For me to write a book, yeah, without rhyming or anything would be so difficult. For me to write a book, rhyming, easy. Like I've even thought about it. Like if I was to be an author or write a book, it would make sense for me to rhyme because it will just be easy. So I mean, like everyone's got skills in different areas, and the reason why I brought up the football and obviously putting words together poetically is because there's something I could do with ease. It might be not. It's not something that I do in terms of career, because obviously the football. Obviously, I'm still sporty and I'm into fitness now, rather than the sport side of things and playing football and that kind of thing. Um, yeah, so it's just, you know what I mean. I don't know how I went from my daughter to this. This is gonna happen a lot. I do this a lot. I kind of lose track of the subject that I was talking about. That's why I can't. That's why I like to talk about different things. There's no way I could stick to one subject. If I was to talk about, for example, gun crime for a whole hour, I couldn't do it. No way, I couldn't, because there's whole different areas and pockets within gun crime. Like you could talk about police, you could talk about victims, you could talk about culprits, you could talk about criminals, you could talk about guns, you could talk about crime, you could talk about gangs, all different things like that go with that particular subject. So I can't just, okay, guns, let me talk about guns because it's gun crime. No, I have to talk about things around it, you know what I'm saying? So you have to excuse me because I'm having my tea. I've put honey in this. I don't know why, because I've got to go bed soon. Like after recording this very late at night. It's probably about 1 o'clock. It's the only time I could get time to myself where the kids are not running up and down screaming and whatnot. We haven't got many rooms in the house, so it's like I ain't got that spare room. You know, like everyone wants that house where you got that spare room to yourself, like that little office for yourself. Now everyone wants that, but unfortunately I haven't got that, so I have to wait till everyone's sleeping. And what better time than now? Everyone's sleeping, so obviously I can make a video and talk. It's hot now. I've been like cold all day. It's so hot now. I think it's damn. I got ring light in it, and it just makes it even more hot. Also, it's the first time I brought this ring light out in a while. Like I used to rinse out this ring light doing TikTok videos. I used to make thousands of videos. Like, you know, throughout lockdown. Throughout lockdown was a madness. Like, I remember just sitting on the sofa making videos after videos, just getting fat, just putting on bare weight. And this is one of the reasons. This is why it pushed me to, you know, get back into fitness and work out, and mainly on my diet, because I'll be honest with you, I haven't really been, you know what I mean, working out a lot, but I have lost weight, and that's just through diet. You know what I'm saying? Madness, man. But yeah, what else happened today? I'm trying to think of some highlights and not highlights of the day. That's what it's meant to be. I had a list of things. So next time, what I need to do is use my brain, use my common sense, get a pad. Yeah, because a few things did happen. So there's one thing that I could talk about, but it's very personal. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when it gets a bit too personal, I can't really talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know, videos down the line, maybe years to come or whatever, if I'm still doing this, God willing, I still will be doing this, then I can get a bit more sentimental, if that's the word, and personal. And right now I don't know about all that, you know what I'm saying? But okay, here's one thing. I was gonna walk to work. I was gonna save money because I'll be paying a monthly bus pass, which is like £85. Bruv, £85. Like, you know what's mad? I used to work up in West End. a few times. I worked in West End. I had to pay train fare. Like, obviously, I was getting monthly train fare, which obviously you could use bus, trains. I don't know about trams, but yeah, bus and train. I think trams. So imagine now, I had that. I was paying. You know, I was paying. You know how much I was paying? £135. 130, bruv. £135. I remember I used to just think every time, imagine you're just paying it. You put, listen, every time, sometimes I would take out money out the cash point, I don't know where, and I'll just give the man the money and I'll just be like, I've just given you £135 just to get on the bus and train. Like, you know what I'm saying? 85, it's just as bad, man. Obviously, like £50 difference or whatever, but it's just as bad. I don't know why it's so teeth. And it'd be the same with cars, man. You know what I mean? Bare petrol, insurance, all that stuff. Like, it's just this dunya, this world, yeah, is just nothing's free. Nothing is free. You know what I'm saying? This is why people go crazy over money. Because nothing is free. It's reality, it's truth. As much as we could sound all poetic and be like, you know what, this world is temporary. You know what I'm saying? That's how I used to just rinse that word out. This dunya is temporary. You know what I'm saying? Just too relaxed. But sometimes you have to just, you know what I mean? You can be relaxed, it's fine, but you have to just make money and start. And eventually, when you make money or whatnot, you get too comfortable. You have to start thinking bigger. I need to make more money. Okay, I need to do a side hustle. Or even better, I need to, not even better, but just as good, save. Which is something I was so rubbish at. I couldn't save at all. Like, I was so bad at saving. Even now, I'm not great at saving. Like, I'm trying right now. I have no choice because there's things I don't want to mention, but for those who know, they know. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually, why am I trying to hide it? I'm saving up for a personal training course. I don't know why I'm trying to hide it. I always said to myself, well, on and off, I've been saying recently in my head, like, I just want to put it out there. Yeah. Like, because why not? Like, if I know I'm definitely going to do it. You know, when you're half-hearted with something, it's like, it's best not to say. You know what I'm saying? It's like bringing a woman back home that you're not really interested in. You start thinking, I better not show her to my parents because I'm not, you know what I'm saying? In my case and many others, like, who just got a single parent, who was raised with a single parent mother, yeah, like, it's like bringing obviously I'm married now, alhamdulillah, but I'm saying, just example, it's like bringing a woman home, yeah, and like, you're like, I ain't showing her to mumsy because I'm not even serious with her, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you're half-hearted about it, you're not really serious. But this, this personal training course, like, I'm dead serious. Like, I want to be a personal trainer. That is my career goal, because the job that I'm working now isn't a type of job where you could say it's a career type of job. It is if you get promoted and you become manager or supervisor, maybe. Like, there's, you know what I mean, probably opportunities for me, but this industry is not for me, the industry that I'm in now, which I won't mention. I will mention it because there's people that know, who might see this video, they know where I work and whatnot. But for others, obviously I don't want to mention it, but I will mention it once I'm qualified. Once I'm a personal trainer, you're going to see me talk about videos of what I used to do, and I might even get a few clips of videos or record some videos, if that makes sense. Yeah, record some videos at work of me working, so I can obviously put that in the archives and then release it once I'm a personal trainer. Yeah, I've got to remember this. If I don't remember it, hopefully I'll look back at this video or you guys can remind me, but that's definitely something that I want to do. Like I said, I want to document everything, and this is why I'm rambling on with this as well. And I know it's very difficult to just talk by yourself. Like, I'm literally on my own here, so I'm just talking and it's weird because I don't I like, how can I say, I don't mind people who just talk constantly. But me being an introvert, it's hard being around extroverts sometimes because it sucks away my energy. Like they say this as well, that this happens, and I can vouch for that. Like sometimes just being on my own is where I get the most energy, and that's probably why I feel so energetic now. If I'm around loads of people, I'm nothing like this, and I think that's just an introvert thing. I genuinely think it's an introvert thing. And then you get extroverts who are really extra extroverts, who, because you get some people in between, but let's talk about those who are like proper extroverts. They hate being alone. They can't stand being alone. And it's nothing to do with depression or anything like that, because some people will point that out. Sometimes that's not the case, and that's why depression works different for other people. Some people, they find that they come out of the depression when they just stay home alone. But then at the end of the day, that's not good either, because they say you should, be around, have social gatherings sometimes here and there. So, yeah, man, to spend time alone 24/7 is not good. You know what I'm saying? It's good to have your time, have that time, maybe 1 or 2 hours. You know what I mean? If you ain't got no responsibilities, you could even push it, even maybe 4 or 5 hours to yourself. But you got to have that time where you're around other people, whether it be at work or, you're doing hobbies. Maybe you play football for a football team or whatever, or a rugby team, or you're a boxer. Or I don't know, they don't have youth centers open anymore, so I can't really talk about that. But back in the day, obviously, it would be a thing for you go I was gonna say university, that as well, but you would go youth center. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, when you go youth center, you can gather around people, and this is something we did casually, and yeah, man. Even like it's mad because nowadays they don't even have youth centers, and you wonder why it's just gone crazy. But then again, I say that, yeah, there was bare fights at youth centers as well. You know what I'm saying? It's mad. I just think it's that gang culture. It's like, I don't know you, I got my gang. Like, okay, my man's over there, he's got his gang. Are we gonna start? You know what I mean? Like, are we going to break bread together? Are we going to be cool? Are we going to think of a business? Are we going to work together? People don't think like that. So it's more like, right, that's an op. You know what I'm saying? Or these men are ops. But that's not the case. Break bread, you know what I'm saying? With family. People don't think like this, man. People don't think like this. I know this video right now is so unstructured, if that makes sense. Like, it's all over the place, but I don't mind, because I haven't got a list of the things that have happened today. But then again, I probably would have run out of the highlights of the days, because there wasn't that much things that happened. But I know there was a few things, I just can't remember exactly. So obviously they weren't big highlights, otherwise I would remember. And this is why, you know what I'm saying, this is why I say to you guys, drama, just like they say drama, well, they don't say drama sells, they say sex sells, but let's say drama sells too, which is true. Drama sells. Like, so it's like, I mean, sometimes there's nothing to talk about unless there's drama. This is why people gossip. You get man talking about an ex man because something's happened, or usually girls talk a lot, so you'll find that they're talking behind someone's back and they get information, start talking, da 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 da. So yeah, that just happens, man. That's pretty much everyone gossips. They say obviously it's not good to gossip, but let's be real, man. Many of us do it, so why not record it? Nah, on a real, it's not good, man. But yeah, let me just come with a topic now, yeah, because it's very unstructured. So another topic that I want to talk about is, oh yes, I remember something that happened today now, because I was just about to talk about this topic as well. It's weird, but yeah, I was going to talk about the topic of parents and how they should, what is a good parent, and that all that kind of stuff. Anyways, you know what happened? I was in the school. So it's funny how all these things that I mentioned happened outside school or inside school. So at school, when I don't know, I think I was dropping my kids to school, or was I picking them up? I can't remember. My mind, man. One of the two. I was dropping them or picking them up. It's oh man, can't remember. But I was at the school, and yes, I think I was picking my daughter up. Yes, I was. I was picking my daughter up. I already picked up my son, who's on the other side. He's in the same school, but he's like the other side of the playground, if that makes sense, and like where his class is. So we had to go around. First off, I take him toilet because he's 6 years old, right? But I always worry that he's gonna, you know what I mean? He's gonna need to go to the toilet. So straight after school, I took him out of class, took him toilet, come out now, I've gone round to get my daughter. I'm hearing like a sister, a Muslim sister. I have to say Muslim. I have to be real about it, yeah? Which is very unfortunate, but we're living in those times, right? You know what I mean? We're living in those times. It's actually a prophecy. These kind of things, that these things would happen, it's actually a prophecy. It's in the hadith. But anyways, this is what happened, yeah? So I'm walking past now and I'm hearing like a girl, and from what it seemed to be at the time, her mother. But now when I look back, I think it might have been her grandmother. I could be wrong. But yeah, I'm sure maybe her grandmother, right? Unless she got like older brothers, and because you know what I mean, she was a bit like, she weren't old, but you know what I'm saying, like the girl was only 15, and usually the mother would probably be around 40, but she looked about 50, right? So, or 60 maybe. So it could be her grandmother. But yeah, she nevertheless, and that's even worse. To speak like, not even worse actually, because the mother you should respect more than anybody else, more than the grandmother, more than the auntie, blah 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 blah, right? Because parents are very important, especially your mother. So anyways, I'm hearing like just an exchange of words. Can you do this? No. Can you do it? No, no, no. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. That's what the girl's saying, yeah? She's like 15 years old, right? About 15, 16 maybe. But she's in school. She's got school clothes on. And I know she's not in primary school. You know what I'm saying? So it must be like she's picking up her little sister or whatever the case may be. But she definitely goes secondary school. About 15, 16, right? Anyways, might be 14. I don't know. I can't tell these days. Some of these girls are big for their age. But she was definitely in secondary school. Anyways, next thing I heard is effing da. And I'm like, huh? I look around again. I was like, I must be hearing things, man. Then I hear, I'm not effing doing, like, effing and blinding. I'm not doing it. No. Or, like, something like that. But I heard the effing. Then she walked off. I'm like, wow. The grandmother or the mother, I think it's the grandmother, right? Let's just say grandmother. She's just not saying nothing. She's got like another boy. I don't know if it's a grandson or whatever, but you know what I mean. And the girl just walked off. I'm like, wow. Like, I've never seen this from. I've never seen a kid that age, because sometimes you get 5-year-olds and they can get rude, right? But they don't know what they're saying because they're so young. But I'm saying teenagers, even though they go through stuff and hormones and whatnot, you don't expect them to say things like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't expect them to swear, especially like, you expect them to be a bit more different, like they're obviously Muslim, right? And it don't matter if you're Muslim or non-Muslim, nobody should be talking to their parents like that. The reason why I say Muslim is because we actually got books on how to respect your mother. Like, we have books, like many books that the scholars have wrote and whatnot, teachers or ustads have spoke about. We have hadiths that mention to, look after your mother and this, that and the other. And it might not have been her mother, but still, You know what I mean? And I could be wrong about this. Might not be even family member. I could be wrong. I'm just going by what would make sense. You know what I'm saying? Because the way she's talking, and you know how it is with some people, or many of us, like we get too comfortable with our loved ones, so we talk to them in a bad way, and strangers we talk to in a good way. You know what I mean? Very polite to strangers. We don't want to mess this one up. Very polite to our boss. Can't mess that up. I'll get sacked. But or in these kids' cases, very polite to the teachers. You'll see this many times. And sometimes the opposite. Like I remember going to school, and you see like kids just they're bad, like just going wild in school. Parents they come, mother comes, kid ain't saying nothing. They're getting licked down, embarrassed in front of the teacher, cussed. You're grounded, clip round the head, backhand, like, and you're like, this guy, like, he's so bad in school. He was not saying nothing to his mother, and we know this happens with a lot of Jamaican kids, right, and African kids, right. And I'm sure it's the same with many Asian kids, right? That you're getting licked, old school, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know what's happening these days. Because it don't matter if you're black, Asian, white, it don't matter no more. There's kids out there who are not respecting parents. So it's not even a cultural thing no more. It's not a thing of, yeah, we still got that cultural, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to get old school licked. Like, it's not that. Maybe people are scared to do it because they know it's looked down upon these days by the authorities and stuff like that. But still, I don't know where these kids are getting this attitude from. For me, it must be the music and maybe films, and it's very bad. It's very bad. So what I witnessed today was not good, and I was shocked because, sister had a hijab on as well. You know what I'm saying? From what I remember, I'm sure she had it was like half off though, but she was wearing hijab, right? And I just thought to myself, wow, like I really don't want obviously our kids, many of our kids, like sometimes they say something and walk upstairs and you're like, but where it's like, and depending on the parent, yeah, I know I'm not going to mention, but you know what I'm saying, my kids know when, you know what I'm saying, when I'm not having it, and they will be quiet, sometimes crying, they're not saying nothing, right? But and I suggest for every parent out there, I wouldn't say to beat your children. I think there should be a point where you can just look at your kids. Literally just look. And that's it. They know, you know what, I better not say nothing, or I shouldn't have said that. And you just make them say sorry. And they say sorry. They might start crying, but they say sorry. But these kids that don't care, they're not saying sorry. In fact, they're saying, sorry, you want me to say sorry? And they think they're the parent. So they're talking to their parents now like they're the kids. I ain't saying sorry. That's when you know this kid is running rings around the parents, taking the mick. But yeah, as long as if your kid says something, you can discipline them. You know what I mean? You can say something to them and they would just be like, sorry, I didn't really mean it. You know what I'm saying? Even to the point that I feel like, as bad as it sounds, I think without hitting your kid, if you can say something to them and then they get a little teary, like, I'm sorry kind of thing, then okay, like they really mean it. You know what I'm saying? But these kids that are like, they laugh it off or walk off, like, rude, still rude. You know what I mean? It's just, there's something there that's just not right. It's like they just don't care. When you get to that point, then, you know what I mean, things need to be sorted out. So, yeah, man. Anyway, let me talk about parenting the old school way, right? Like I said, I personally wouldn't advise anyone to do that. You can do what you want, but I'm saying if you could learn to discipline your child by just speaking, even looking, body language. You stand up, you look down to them. Who are you talking to? You know what I'm saying? Like, and they realize, you know what, I shouldn't have said that. And more times they won't say it again. Or more times, the most that they'll do is just walk upstairs. They're not saying nothing because they know if they say a word, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So, and we also, there should be times where we give our children space as well. I know it sounds mad. It sounds a bit like, what do you mean give? They're just children, but they need it just like we as adults need space. You know what I'm saying? Or they need talking to on a level, like talk to them in a way that's not so embarrassing, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Talk to them in a certain way. I feel like many kids, they get embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole kind of parenting thing. Sometimes we're like not their friends, if that makes sense. We're just a parent, but we're not friends. Like we're friends as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to approach them in that way and let them know, like, I love you, but just don't do that again. Or, you know, there's just certain ways to speak to your children. I think it's difficult because some children, they end up just doing a madness and you don't know what to do. There's some children out there, it's like you've tried everything. There's kids out there that have been beaten left, right and centre. Discipline them old school way and they don't listen. You know what I'm saying? And then you start to think, have they got some problems? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, everyone's quick to say, is this kid got ADHD or is this kid da-da-da-da-da? Sometimes it could be many things. It could be the environment. It could be their diet needs switching up, the food that they're eating, kids that they're around with in school, outside school. Could be many things, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, my kids, one thing I don't like, this is what I don't like, because I'm not used to this as well. My kid, because I know how I was in school. How I was in school, I was nowhere near like that towards my mother. How I kind of disrespected most teachers, I would never do that to my mum. Obviously, there's times where, you know what I mean, like, I'll disagree with my mum, or yeah, I'll walk upstairs sulking, I might say something under my breath, but which is bad as well. But there was no way I was saying it in her face, you know what I'm saying? No way I could just stand up and say, you know what, you da-da-da-da-da. I'm not doing that. But there's enough time we done that in school to the teachers, no respect. And really, we should have respect for our teachers. And this is what I try and tell my kids. I tell them all the time, have respect for the teachers. But they do. And sometimes they have too much respect in a sense that, which is all good. But they have, I feel like, do they have more respect for the teachers than me? Like, I'm the parent. Do you get what I mean? That's what I don't like. It's like, respect your teachers, but respect me more because I am the parent. Do you get what I'm saying? What I say goes. Yes, in the school, when they're in the school, you know what I mean, it's the teacher's turn. Obviously, the teacher's not going to hit them or do anything like that. But I would like the teacher to, you know, speak to them. And if they're being naughty, you know what I mean, you tell them, look, don't, even if they have to raise their mouth, don't be disrespectful in class. But alhamdulillah, I haven't had that problem, you know what I mean? The teachers always say the kids are really good, they're good manners, they're quiet, just all the things that you would want from a kid is what they see. But however, they ain't seen them, like when the kids are fighting at home sometimes. They ain't seen, you know what I mean? And that's just, that's probably why they think, you know, oh, your kids are so shy and so quiet and da-da-da, because they ain't seen the other side to them. You know what I mean? They're not like naughty. My kids are good, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, just like every other kid, they have their issues sometimes, you know, that love-hate relationship that kids have, where the kids, you know, they end up arguing with each other, like fully grown adults. You're like, why are these arguing over some, they were playing, now they're arguing. You know, kids are strange, man. But I noticed that's with boys and girls a lot. I don't know if any of you, anyone that sees this, do you have a boy and a girl around the similar age, like maybe a year difference, you know, 2 years difference, max I would say maybe 3 years different. You know what? Actually, I've seen a brother and sister who used to live around my area. I'm not gonna mention their names, but they were like a big age gap, but they used to fight all the time, like proper fist fights. And it's strange because they were a good 5, 6, maybe 7 years difference, man. I didn't understand that. But yeah, like my kids now, they're 2 years different. So more times they're playing with each other. And you know, if you're around the same person all the time, sometimes you can clash, you know. And that's pretty much what they're like twins, except you know what I mean. They weren't born on the same day, but they're very close. But they just have them minor disputes sometimes. Um, it doesn't get out of hand. Obviously, not they're very young. But imagine as adults, this one thing I dread that they would like. I'd never want them to fall out ever because this happens in a lot of families when they become older. They're adults. Funny when they're kids, they just end up. Even if they fall out, they'll fall out for about 5 minutes and just start talking again, start playing. But how is it that big adults, especially when they're family, blood, right? They fall out. Because even friends, they fall out and talk, you know, like maybe a year later or something like that. But it's funny, families, this thing, you know, it's from the shaitan. Families will stop talking, you know what I'm saying, sisters or brothers, cousins, more so sisters and brothers, you'll find that they just don't talk no more. That's it. Like, and it's like, wow, you lot grew up in the same household, like, so, but then again, you never know people's issues, innit? For me, it sounds crazy. Obviously, I'm like the only child. I have brothers and sisters, who I didn't live with growing up, so I would never know what it's like to actually live with my brother and sister. And sometimes you just never know exactly what it's like. So, and people's situations or whatnot. But yeah, it's crazy, man, because you know, Islamically, for example, cutting ties is a major sin. Like, don't cut ties. You know what I'm saying? But it's different for, obviously I'm not gonna get into the ruling or anything like that because I'm nobody. I'm not a sheikh or a scholar or anything like that. But obviously there's like, you know, like if someone stops talking to you, like family member or whatnot, say family member, a brother or sister or your mum, like, or your dad, if they cut ties with you and you chase them down, you try to speak to them, you phone, you call, you text, you message, you do it all, but there's no response, they don't answer, there's no way that you can get in contact with them, that's not your fault. But people who deliberately don't even try to contact the person, it's like, I'm never gonna speak to you again, I don't like you, it can be a problem. And by the way, this is just for the Muslims. I mean, for the non-Muslims, I mean, at the end of the day, the most important thing for the non-Muslims is to get that connection with God. That's the main thing. Like, with us as Muslims, say we have that connection with Allah, which we should all have, obviously, and there's some people who have lost connection, but they're still Muslim. But they don't have that, you know what I mean, that proper connection that they should have with their Lord. There's some people who have a connection with God, but they just kind of, you know what I mean, like, I don't know, like they'll cut ties and whatnot, and it's just like, but you know you're not supposed to, like, you know what I'm saying, the teachings of Islam, for example, you're not supposed to do these things, man. You're supposed to, like, at least put your hand out and say, look, it's all good, like, it's cool. But I'm not here to say every Muslim's perfect, because that's far from the case. There's so many Muslims who fall out every day. You know what I'm saying? It's not just non-Muslims, because I know there's a lot of people who look and think, oh yeah, non-Muslims, you know, obviously they're going to do that. No. There's a lot of Muslims who fall out and don't speak again. Like, this happens. You know what I'm saying? So, listen, we've nearly reached to an hour. That's what I'm waiting for, to get to an hour, because obviously I don't have the highlights on paper, but tomorrow is what was tomorrow? Is it Friday? I'm getting confused with the days. Okay, right. So there's gonna be many other episodes coming soon. We've reached an hour, so this is what I'm gonna do. For future episodes, I'm gonna make it longer. Still gonna be just over an hour, maybe an hour and 20 minutes or a half. But for this one, I'm gonna leave it here like this because I haven't got my highlights written down. I haven't got that one specific topic, because that was another thing. I was meant to get that one topic that obviously the highlights I can branch off from and have other topics in the mix. But there was going to be that one major topic that I see on the news that I was going to talk about, or like just have a topic in general from one of the highlights that kind of, you know what I'm saying. Anyways, I know what I'm talking about. Sometimes it just sounds like I'm rambling on. I know, in my mind, I know what I'm talking about. So as long as I know what I'm talking about, I can show you guys in the next episode. And if you know what I'm talking about, or if you knew what I was saying, then that's all good. If you don't worry about it. You're going to see in the next episode. So, yeah, man, that was some next levels. That's all I'm saying here. Next levels, don't know. But yeah, yeah, that's the show, Next Levels. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. This was episode 1. You're gonna see episode 2 soon. I'm not gonna mention when, but just subscribe and you'll see it pop up. Notification bell? Yeah, press that notification bell and you'll see it pop up on your screen and whatnot. But yeah, Next Levels, and I'm out. Peace.